Hello everybody, Derek coming to you week 3 here of the Business of Multimedia, and I just wanted to talk about a couple of my key points with a look at the creative industry today in that worksheet that you were assigned. Hopefully you found that as a good form of kind of research to look into that industry, and that was a reasonable assignment that you see some value in. A couple things that I just wanted to highlight. I had you look at, define what what multimedia is. Everybody did a good job with that. A couple things to remember with the makeup of our class. We have creative artists, and we have people that are more business leaders. So the creative artists typically are considered those right brain people, and they function more on imagination and insight and awareness. And oftentimes you get more of a business person, and they like to think more in terms of logic, or they're analytical, or they're numbers based, or maybe there's some reasoning behind that. That's what sometimes I see with conflict, because people are pushing to meet deadlines where other creative people are going, well, that's not correct yet. So, and we've seen a little conflict, and that's natural and that's normal, and it's what happens in the workplace. Expect to kind of understand that. The most effective and sought out graphic designers today, though, have an understanding of business. Super important there. The industry, you looked at a little bit of the number of firms and the dollar amount, $15 billion revenue industry. Those were all great facts. I don't care so much about the numbers, but here's a couple takeaways that I want you to understand, and the reason why I had you do this. The multimedia and design industry is much different than those in other things of like household supplies, automotive, movie production. This particular industry in the U.S. is highly fragmented. The 50 largest multimedia and design companies account for less than 15% of the entire revenue. The 50 largest only have 15% of the revenue in the industry. That's pretty interesting. That means the small guy can win. A couple other stats I found. It's also estimated that more than 25% of the revenue in graphic design goes to self-employed businesses. According to Hoover's, most graphic design firms only have one location. So most only have, or 25% have one location. They have less than 4 employees, and they bring in around $500,000 or $500,000 in revenue, and that's 25% of the industry. So that's the that's the makeup of the industry. Small companies, how do they compete? They do things more quickly. They adopt new trends, and they specialize themselves. That's why this industry is fragmented. And the reason they're so profitable is because they're accurate on bidding their jobs, they're timely in their delivery, and they have a steady volume of work. There's a lot of people that need your help. So just something there. Compensation. I had you look at a little bit at compensation. Some of the numbers seem a little inflated, certainly when it comes to those marketing managers. There's people in the metro areas that are making that kind of money, but here's what I want you to know. Starting salaries in a design field usually are not very high. Starting salaries as an entry-level marketing person or as a salesperson are not very high. However, those with talent, exceptional work ethic, and perhaps the ability to communicate well with clients certainly ramp up those earnings very quickly, and there's some nice salaries to be made in this industry. The last thing, who are the employers? Well, there's 4 typical ones. There's an in-house designer, there's the small firms, the large firms, and then the freelance. So wanting to start with the in-house, just to make sure I'm real clear on what we're talking about. Those are people that are employers or employees. The employers hire you, and all creative work would be produced within the art, the marketing, and the advertising by paid employees for that organization. So the client is your employer, if you will. That's in-house. Small firms, which dominate the design landscape, typically serve as more of a consulting business. You help others, solve their problems. They're fast-paced. They're highly collaborative. The downfalls are they usually lack benefits. Usually there's no room for promotions. Of course, we know what some of the larger firms, what they're made up of. They deal with the largest brands, the Pepsis, the Toyotas, the Mercedes, Benz. Those are the clients that the large firms generally have. And lastly is the freelance, and that's working independently on different projects at different times rather than being permanently employed by one company. And there's a lot of advantages there. You are your own business. There's some you work most often remotely. The downfall is no clients, no money. So that's a little recap over the creative industry. One of your assignments for next week is to do this for How Business Thinks, and do that assignment worksheet. Also, look for an update on the Student Life movie trailer that will be coming out. We have to get a bunch of work done between now and next Monday. By next Monday, we're going to have to finalize most of the project, and then we'll have a student go and basically deliver that. I think February 8th is the date that we have to submit a first draft for that. So we're looking at having basically this thing put together by February 4th, next Monday. So please look for some of your fellow students, David, Scarlett, or Brian, reaching out to you as they are going to head up some of that. If you do not have assignments done, get them in ASAP. All semester I'm not going to be accepting a bunch of late work because we're just behind on it, and I have a number of people right now with a few assignments that aren't in. Get that cleaned up right now this week, and let's get off on the right foot. Have a great day.